Okay, now for this chapter, we'll talk about the valuations of bond, and in terms of the characteristic of bond, what is a bond and what is the features that a bond have. Okay, now first thing, bond. What is a bond? Bond, we say, is a long-term debt for a company. If your company issue bonds, that means that your company was in debt with others with all the bonds holders. Okay, now bond, we say, is the promissory notes, okay, which borrowers agree to repay the borrowed fund and to compensate lenders over a period of time greater than 1 year. Okay, normally it's more than 1 year. Now this one, okay, who is the borrower? Borrower is basically the company that issued the bond. Okay, the company that issued the bond, there is a borrower. We, as the company, issue bonds. We borrow money from those who are willing to purchase the bond. So this is the borrower. We are the borrower, and the lender. Lender is the bondholder, the holder. Okay. So here, we agree. The company who issued the bond will agree, okay, to pay the bondholders to pay the bondholders the principal amount and the interest over the period of time. Okay, now here, what is the features of a bond? A bond, you will have three features. When we say this is a bond, you will have three features. The first one is the par value, or we say the face value. Second is the maturity, means that how long does this bond take? If I want to buy your company bond, when will you repay me the principal amount? So the time period will be the maturity. The third is the coupon rate, or you can see is a interest rate. Now in details, if you look at this, par value. Par value, we also say that is the face value of the bond. Now it represents the amount of money that the firms borrow and promise to pay at the maturity date. Generally, the par value is 1,000. Now, what do we mean by par value here? Par value, in a coupon, okay, in a coupons, they will state that this coupon amount is 1,000. So, when you buy coupons, maybe you buy 10 coupons, okay? You buy 10 coupons, so each of the coupon is 1,000. So, when come to the end of the period, you bring these 10 coupons to the company, okay? They will pay you based on this par value. So each coupon, they give you 1,000 ringgit. So at the end, okay, at the end of, let's say, 10 years, you bring 10 coupon here, so you have 10,000 in total. So this par value refers to the face value here, this face value, the 1,000 ringgit. Okay. Now, generally, we will say that the par value is always 1,000. Now, some of the questions or some of the company they issue in 2,000, some is in 1,005. It's not fixed. Okay, you must come up with 1,000, but generally it will be 1,000. Okay. Now, second, coupon rate. Coupon rate, you can also say interest rate generally. Okay. Now, this coupon rate is that in the coupon, just now you have 1,000 here. They'll tell you, okay, we agree to pay 5% interest to you every year, okay? Multiply by the par value. So how to calculate how much I will receive every year is actually the 1,000 times 5%. So here, 5%. So every year you'll get back 50. This 50 is the interest that you will receive. Now, this 50 is in terms of money, in terms of RM, 50, okay? But here, when we talk about coupon rate, it's in terms of percentage. Get it? Okay. Now, here, how to get the dollar payment of interest? Basically, you need to use percentage times your par value here. Okay, par value by default is 1,000, but question may change it, okay, and the company will change it accordingly. Now, next, we talk about the features of a bond, is that the maturity. Maturity means that, let's say this bond, 1,000, it was issued in year 2011. It matured in year 2021, maybe. So we say this is the maturity date. You will have 10 years maturity date. Okay, so in which when come to year 2021, the par value must be repaid. Means that come to year 2021, you bring this coupon, you bring 10 of your coupon to my company. I will pay you 10,000 in 2021, in year 2021. If you bring it before that, I won't pay you. But when come to this date, I must be repaid. The 1,000 par value of each coupon must be repaid. Now, the effective maturity of a bond declines since the year after it has been issued. This basically means that the bond maturity dates will be reduced every year. Because if you, let's say this, you issue the bond in 2011, 2012, 2013, okay. In 2011, your maturity date is 10 years. 2012 become 9 years, 2013 become 8 years. So it means that the maturity date of a bond will decline each year after it has been issued. After it has been issued in 2001, it starts to decline from 10 reduced to 8. Okay, slowly it will reduce to year 1, year 0. Okay, now then we go on to the next slide. These chapters basically we are considering on valuation of the bond. Means that what is the value of the bond in today's? How much you are willing to pay for the bonds today? Okay, so based on the expected future benefit or cash flow over the life of the asset, how can I value how much does this bond will be? Well, how much the value of the bond today is basically based on the future cash flow that I'm going to receive. Okay, the future benefit of future cash flow. Let's say I know that every year I'm going to receive 50 every year for 10 years. Okay, year 1 until year 10. Every year I'm going to receive 50 ringgit. And at the end of year 10, I will receive a par value 1,000. So all this is the future benefit. Okay, this future benefit, when I convert it to today, how much? When I convert it to today PO, how much does it worth? So this is what we say the valuations of the bond. Now this value is equal to the discounted value, or we say the present value. If you still remember the present value, the formula is just the same, just that the name we change it. Okay, the symbol is also changed. Now look at the formula. If you look at this formula, here PO means that the value of a bond in today's value. I represent the interest that you are going to receive. Okay, now KD is the requirer of return, N is the number of years, here M is the par value. Okay, now here the first term represent the present value of annuity, and I represent of I per periods for N periods. Okay, so this one basically this sentence means that this part, if you are very familiar with your chapter 5, this part represent your PVAND, the present value annuity formula, and the second part represent the present value of single payment. Means that this part is basically the present value formula. It's just the same formula. So if you look at this, your present value annuity formula is PMT, okay, divided by 1 minus 1 plus I paused by N, and here you have I, okay, and here you have I. So this is your formula for your present value annuity. But if you look at this one, present value formula, this will be the same. Okay, means that this is future value divided by 1 plus I paused by N. This is the same formula as this one, and this one is the same formula here between these two. So if you can really follow for your chapter 5, for your chapter 7 here, okay, for the bond valuations, chapter 7, chapter 8, you should have no problem because it's the same formula. Okay, now we'll go on. Now how to calculate these bond valuations? If you look at this company, they have issued 300 millions of 7% bond maturing on this. Now for your bond valuations, okay, if you look at this page, you'll find out that actually in the bond valuations, you only need a few informations. You only need a few things, okay? Now, basically, in this whole formula, you only need, first thing, you need I. The second thing you need is KD, the second information that you need. The third information is number of years. The fourth information is your par value. Normally, question will be asking on how to get the price, or we say the value of the bond. So I, what is I? I is basically the interest that you receive. So how to get it? Use your coupon rate times your par value. This is I. Second, KD, or we say KD is the required rate of return, or you can say is your yield to maturity or market interest rate. Okay, bear in mind is market interest rate, okay, or required rate of return. Now the third, this is number of years, how many years, and this is how many years to maturity here, okay. And the last one, M, stand for the par value. And PO equals to price, or we say the value of the bonds today. Okay, so here, look at this one, 7% bond maturing on 15. So you need to always remember, get your MNIK. Okay, par value 1,000. So here you write 1,000. Number of years. Here in this question, the company is starting in year 2004 here. Okay, year 2004, from year 2004 maturing in year 2011. There is actually a difference of 7 years. Okay, here you have a 7 years difference. And the interest, how to get the interest? If you look at this, 7% coupon rates times your par value 1,000. Okay, so your par value is 1,000. So total interest you should have 70. And the last one is KD. If you look at KD, cost of debts, here 8% required rate of return. So this one is 8%. So basically this is the information that you need. Now, according to this question, assume that the investor will hold the bond until maturity. Means that from year 2004 until year 2011. Okay, what is the price that the investor is willing to pay? How much is he willing to pay? Now, basically, get the idea first. You need these 4 information. So now, how are you going to calculate? You did, as long as you have these 4 information, you just put it into your formula. Basically, everything will be all right. Okay. Now here, investor will receive 7 annual interest payment. So number of years 7, 70 ringgit each year. I is 70 plus principal payments 1,000 here at the end of maturity dates. Now look at this. In order to calculate your par, or we say the present value, the value of the bonds today, the concept is I need to find out what is the price of the, or we say the value of the bond today. So it's similar here. Convert the 70 ringgit to the value today, convert the 70 ringgit to the value today, convert it here, also convert to today's, and this 1,000 convert to today's. So if you look at this, every year 70 ringgit, right? This is just the same as your present value annual T formula. Convert the 70 ringgit every year, convert it to today, plus this 1,000, convert it to today's value. So when you put it into the formula, it will be like this. Okay, 70 ringgit every year for 7 years. Number of interest, okay, or we say the market interest rate. Okay, so here will be the basic present value formula, in which is your future value times 1.08 powered by 7. Now if you look at this future value, right, means that at the end of year 11, okay, Now, you will have 1,000 at the end of year 11 here. You will have 1,000. Convert the 1,000 this to P0. So this is your future value, 1,000. Pause by 7 because in between here you have 7 years in total. Okay, so if you look at this, the market's value, or we say the value of the bond, is actually 947. This means that the investor is more willing to pay this price for the bond. Although you are selling it, you might sell it at 1,000, you might sell it at 800. So for that investor, the price that he is willing to pay will be this price. Okay.